So my bro, I'm French. We are here in India. I somehow set up a chain of 12 restaurants here in Bangalore. So you might have made out already that I've gone through a lot of redefinition in my entire life. From a very young age, I dreamt of opening an amusement park. A big amusement park with roller coaster, haunted rides, a big amusement park, you know what I'm talking about, right? But reality checked, I landed in at the university, like probably most of you, and I picked up the course of international economics and finance. It sounds fancy, right? That's what I thought. So, and my idea was, I really wanted to. So, what caught my attention mainly in this was the fact that 80% of the classes were discussed in English, and I really wanted to learn English, no matter what. And my English level was extremely bad at this time. So, the idea was to really work up and pass those 3 years, and I did. And so during those 3 years at the university, I was part of a student clubs. It's actually an amazing and great opportunity to be part of student clubs. On the first year in my uni, I founded one student club to supply all the match for the university. That was a pretty good opportunity, and also that opened me to like the real work environment, and I met again in very interesting people. And on my last year of the degree, I actually still didn't know what I was going to do the next year. I thought I would continue as a master at my university. And what happened is I joined this student club to recruit people to the university. And that's during a student fair that's talking to a lot of teachers and students that I realized that I was for the best for my career path, I should be going to a business school. So overnight, it was mid of January, I decided to study for the exam of the business school. But the only issue was the business school exam was in 2 months. So basically, I had 2 months to study what people do study over the span of 2 years. And that was pretty hectic. But again, I walked out and I did pass the exam, and I ended up in one of the most prestigious business school in French, which is Cash Business School. There, I had a lot of great time. I met students from all around the world. I worked on business plan. I worked on a pretty cool project with them. And that's during my last year of business school. I actually picked up some modules that were about doing business in Southeast Asia. I was very curious to know about the most dynamic Asian countries, which are China, Japan, and obviously India. So um, I got to learn a lot of this, and that made me actually focus my research when I was looking for internship to uh, come to one of those country. And lucky enough, I found this internship opportunity in India in a startup, not in a restaurant or nothing in the food industry, but something in a startup here. So I felt that actually it's a right opportunity to seize for me because first of all, I don't even know what am I going to do after the business school. I had some pretty cool concept I was working on when I was in business school with different students. I was planning to start something, but it was nothing was concrete, and I knew that I still needed to learn. So I came to this internship that I got in India with a very open mind. So for me, the coming to India was uh, mostly about learning about the culture, learning about the country, learning about how people operate in this super dynamic economy, and obviously learning about the food as well. And I was quite mind blown about the food. That was something that I did miss my French food back home, but I was still really not left. It was a great exposure to experience. So I got into this internship in a startup ecosystem. The idea for me was more to learn about the startup ecosystem getting uh than getting a internship in a very big firm. Like I consider those internships to be very boring, to be honest. I really wanted to get into this startup because it was more structured, and during even my interview it was very much known that I'll be working on different aspects, different things, and I will be learning a lot. And for me, even during my school, during my education, learning things constantly matters a lot. Like opening your mind to different things to learn is a way for you to define your personality, but as well grow for yourself. And at the end, it will also make you a better person and get you to a better career path. So that's in this direction that I came to. Then I joined this startup. After a couple of months, I uh, I was quite mind blown with all the opportunities that were in front of me in Bangalore, and I thought I after 3 months I started thinking, what am I gonna do after this internship? I am getting this master. Now I'm done with my experience in this startup. So what am I gonna do? So I started exploring opportunities here for me in Bangalore to start something. And what came to my mind was something that was exciting me the most, the work experience that exciting me the most until I came to India, which is working in restaurants. So before I came to India, I got experience I worked in a summer camp when I was 18. Then I got into internship into retails. And after that, I got into a job of waiter. At the beginning, it was just to make pocket money, but I ended up loving it. I loved it so much that even when I went to business school, I found a job in the restaurants and I worked there for about 2 years and led to my studies. So when I came to, I mean, when I was thinking about what should I do, what would be my next chapter, this restaurant industry and the restaurant experience that I had was what came to my mind first. And being exposed to so many cuisine and so much of food here in Bangalore made me think, why not start something on my own here? I think French food people would appreciate. People would appreciate a good gourmet experience, something that is made or that is homemade, that is cooked from scratch. Because that way I could follow some traditional recipes and make people travel through food. Because even the all the time I worked in restaurants, as I got introduced, for me going into a restaurant, it's a whole experience. It's getting transported to a city by the food. It's not just about the food, but it's the whole experience that you get from greeting the guests to the service at your table to the decor around you. It's a whole experience altogether. So that's what, for me, I thought maybe that will be a way for me to stay here longer and seize the opportunity that I will not have anywhere else, especially in France. So my at this time, my manager in the startup I was working were very interested to join the project. So I partnered with them and we started this food truck. At the beginning, we actually thought of opening a cafe, but we faced a lot of problems to get a place. Every time we were about to sign the agreement, the landlord would cancel, And it happened about 3 times. And I got to a point where I said to my partner, see, no point of wasting more time out here doing, trying to find place. And on top of that, it's a big project. I don't have that much of experience in a restaurant to be probably able to lead such kind of project. But I would want to start probably something more personal, something that we can probably have more control over it. So at this time, the food trucks were very trendy in Europe as well as India. It was just starting. So that's how we redefine our concept and we redefine our vision to just start a food truck. A food truck that was called Lucas Sports. So there was a lot of work involved in building the name, building the brand. People would not understand the brand. That's one big lesson that I learned is depending on the market, no matter what, even though you want to be very authentic, people need to understand what you're selling, and people need to understand the message behind. So that's what I did mostly by standing in the food truck, preparing everything on my own. So when I started the food truck with so less, I had experiences before in France. But for me, starting a food truck was mostly like to try out the product in an unknown market, which was the product was a panini. So panini, for those who don't know, it's a toasted sandwich. It's not French, but it's Italian. But we make French style. The idea behind the concept was making French style panini. So with this idea, I started a food truck, and so I was doing everything by myself. We had quite a less amount of money on the account when we started. So we faced multiple problems in the sense we had this landlord issue with the place. We had during our search of a kitchen, the kitchen got flooded on the first month. Then we found another kitchen that turns out to be good for us. But at this time, I remember there was we underestimated the amount that it would take us to build the project and bring it to life, and we ended up with 10,000 rupees before the launch. So at this time, I was doing all the financials, I was doing everything. And at this time, I realized, okay, 10,000 rupees is way too less. So let me find a way to get money before we launch, because if anything happens, we'll be in big trouble. So that's why I started calling up my friend and I got a first catering to do. And that way I was able to rebound and get actually feedback also from people and get started getting traction with customers. And from that we started, and the moment we started we got a really good response that was quite amazing to see. And we later on I also realized that food truck is not a necessarily scalable business, because it's not illegal, but it's not entirely legal. So it's a very difficult decision to take. But for me, I thought, see, I've been here for a couple of years now. I want to scale the project, but the only way for me was to find investment to put in a cafe. So that's how I started looking for partners. I for 2 years I was looking for partners. In the last year, I actually found one, but it turned out to be the money did not go through. And at that time, I had to even call my dad and ask him to put some money on the account to pay the bill. That was quite a terrible moment, but my parents they have always been very supportive, and they knew that I would be able to reach higher level. They knew that the product had a lot of potential. I also believed in the product a lot. I was passionate about what I was doing, and I'm still passionate about what I do. And I believed in the product. That was my main reason that was driving me. And so after this experience, what happened is one fine day I went to practice CrossFit. I do practice CrossFit a lot. I find sport to be a very good way to balance out your life. So for me, it's a very important part of my life that I do spend outside. I understand that the professional is very important. You have to focus your energy and time onto building your project, but balancing it out is a very important part of the process. And that's actually where I found my partner. I found my partner at a gym in a changing room. One fine day, at that time I was hustling and I was talking to everyone about the project, about the product, about the fact that I want to bring this French cafe experience to Bangalore, but until now I've been able to run this food truck. And one fine day I found my partner. I had a talk in the gym, and the next day we set up a meeting, and and I would say rest is story. So again, what I would suggest for you guys is take every opportunities, seize any opportunities. For me, from not knowing what I wanted to do even during my degree of after doing my master and coming to India with a very open mind, I let it. I built a chain of restaurants. I'm I'm very proud of this story because it started from pretty much nothing. It just started out of a curiosity, like curiosity and passion and motivation, and that's actually someone cannot take out from you. Like that's something that once you believe in something, just focus on it until you reach until you push your limits and you reach unbelievable milestone. Because with passion, motivation, I truly believe that you can reach incredible milestone, and that's what I've done. And I'm sure that you guys can do it because if I could do it, why can't you do it, right? And there is still one question that remained for me is, well, will I ever get to build my own amusement park? Thanks, guys.